switching spots to work on a different pile rather than move the pile over there. Gotta try over here. Got some big pieces of maple to split today instead of that little stuff. There's little stuff in here too, but we're gonna work on the big boy stuff. Yes, you can get through big stuff with a little 4-pound maul like that. You do not have to run out there and buy the most expensive axe on the market. That's just advertising. I wouldn't advise to buy the cheapest one on the market. I mean, you want something that looks like it'll do the job. In fact, not looks like, actually will do the job. It actually needs to be able to do the job and do the job safely. The fact that it's affordable is a bonus, you know. You gotta figure it needs to be made affordable though, because the job, one way or the other, it needs to be done one way or the other. Say, oh, why do you need to cut firewood? There's other ways to heat your house, and it's like, well, sure, but that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. You need to manage the woods. You need to manage the forest and the woods and your property. That's what needs to be done. There's a bit of a knot right there. And I'm running into. I'll get it. You have to manage it. You have to manage the woods and the dead wood and everything like that. You have to select, your canopy and things like that to make sure that the sunlight is getting to the trees that you want. A lot of different reasons. A lot of different reasons. And you can select certain trees for certain reasons. I guess it depends on if you want timber, if you want firewood, if you want fruit, nuts. See, we're all the little nuts, aren't we? See, that's just normal. I think it's kind of normal to be a little bit nuts, to be a little bit crazy. Hopefully without going too far, but sure, A little bit nuts and a little bit crazy. We all do that. hard maple. I don't think you'd make that into a handle. Say, I wish you could smell that. It smells amazing. I ain't even burning it yet. It just smells so good when you split it. Want to try it for another Big Daddy right here? Big Daddy. By making that look easy, it's because there's a big crack running right through there. It's easy to find. It's easy to split. It's very easy to read. And then once you get that initial split down the middle like that, once you got it in half, it's all downhill from there, they say, you know. As they say, it's all downhill. After the first one, it's all downhill. I feel like that's a metaphor for a lot of things, to be honest. A couple of things come to mind. There's an awkward spot in it. That's awkward. So yeah, you can easily split stuff like this with a smaller axe. I don't know, it's called a rapid maul. I don't know if it really qualifies as a maul. I know there's going to be some diehards out there that are going to say, no, that's not a maul. I'd say really what it is, in my opinion, it's just an opinion. You know what they say about that. But my opinion is that it's a hybrid between an axe and a maul. I've never had a need to get, a big heavy maul. very common model. You see it all over the place, but what I like about it, it's got this very narrow profile at the front. And then without adding a whole lot of weight or heft, you don't burn yourself out swinging a heavy thing all day. It just pops out like a wedge, just real skinny at first, so it bites in and then just boop, pops out like a wedge, and it's got some weight back here. So they could, I mean, I'm sure you could make it heavier, but why? If you don't need to. It doesn't compromise I mean, it's solid, it's not going to break. It's not like the metal is going to just shatter into pieces because you're cutting wood with it. You don't have to add an extra 3 or 4 pounds of material, because that's 3 or 4 pounds of material you're paying for, that you don't need to pay for, that you're swinging around, that you don't need to swing around. There's no reason to add more weight to it. I can think of anyway. I haven't needed it. I haven't needed anything bigger than that. I'll show you. Big heavy guy like that. People will be like, oh, well, to get through those big rounds. You're just swinging on little round. Here's a big round. Show you. It's already starting. There you go. Done. It's all downhill from there. Together so I don't have to pick it up. Now I gotta pick it up. Finish it from the other side. Take it on, yeah, take it on. Yeah, that knot right there. It's all on the inside of this one. Kind of goofy. There it went. There it goes. Hey. There it goes. Did she want to know am I still a slut because she wants to? Or she doesn't want me to. What's that about? What are you talking about there, bud? I know that's probably private. He wants you to be a slut or no? Woman, no, I must be a slut. I don't know. She probably wants you a little bit slutty. You're not much good to her if you're not gonna put out. You're not much good to anybody if you don't put out. I'd be careful who you put out with. You might not want to mix your genetics with some of these people we got floating around, but some of them you would. You might not want to mix fluids with some of these people, but some of them you would. Big road. I don't think so. Say if you're not healthy and you're not real attractive, that's kind of might be part of the reason you're single. Might be part of the reason you're single. I gotta get on here and practically beg people to eat healthy and exercise, and practically begging people to eat a fucking salad and stop being a worthless fat fuck because I'm sick and tired of looking at you and carrying around your bloated fucking corpse. And that's putting it politely. That ain't right. I mean, gluttony is one of the 7 deadlies, you know? I mean, for Christ's sakes, they knew that long time. Being overweight is bad for your health. They've known that forever. That being fat and overweight and being a gluttonous slob, a lazy gluttonous slob, that's bad for your health. And in those days, for more than one reason, because if you weren't pulling your weight, they would ostracize you from the community, and you'd be left out there to rot, which is tempting most of the time, let me tell you. Don't feel like carrying around your bloated corpse. Everybody needs to pull their weight. Now, maybe that sounds rude, but I don't think it is. I think it's way more rude for people to put that kind of an expectation on me, or somebody else for that matter, to put that kind of an expectation that we're supposed to carry your dead weight around. That's a lot worse. Oh, because you're fat and lazy, you get disability and Medicare, and I'm supposed to pay for that because you're lazy. Who came up with that idea? I don't know who came up with it, but I don't like it. Wasn't my idea. it be biblical? You know, the battle between good and evil, I mean, you know, like, if it's in the Bible, if it's in the good book, that being lazy, sloth, and being a glutton, being overweight, being a glutton, those are deadly sins, well, then it would be in the devil's best interest to encourage you to do that. That would be pure evil. I mean, maybe that's a very simplistic point of view, but it just, to me, that seems like in the battle between good and evil, this seems that way to me. Seems kind of evil. That's me just putting it very very simplistic, very easy, very simple, just, you know, simple math, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Being a sloth and a glutton is one of the 7 deadly sins, well then it would be evil to encourage that. And it's actually, I guess that makes you, you know, it would be good to discourage that kind of behavior. I think we got it backwards. Because they're always like, oh, you're fat shaming me. Like, no, I'm trying to discourage bad behavior whilst also trying to reward good behavior. I don't want to reward bad behavior. I don't want to pay you to be lazy. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? Why would anybody pay somebody to be fat and lazy? That's backwards. If I'm your boss and I'm paying taxes and I'm your boss and I'm paying your way, paying your wages, whatever, and I'm paying you, I'm not going to pay you to be fat and lazy. I'm going to pay you to get up and work. I'm not going to pay you to sit around and loaf. I'm going to pay you to get up and work. So why are we paying people to sit around and be fat and lazy? I don't understand that. That seems backwards. That seems evil. Work doesn't do itself. Again, very simplistic. Like, firewood doesn't cut itself. Anywho, just seems to me like if you're going to pay somebody, you'd pay them to actually get up and do something difficult, not pay them to sit around and do easy shit all day. If your job is that easy, I wonder why we're paying you to do it. Why would we pay you to do it if it's that easy? I have a hard time finding, like, why are you finding value in that? It's too easy. I think a lot of people are going to get put on their butt. We're already on their butt. A lot of people are losing their job to AI. And like, I think maybe that's because their job was easy, and they're going to have to look for something a little more challenging. Whether they like it or not, whether they want to hear that or not, they probably don't want to hear that their job was easy. But I mean, if a computer can do it, what do we need you for? But without sounding like a total dick, what you could do. John Wayne to help me explain. Sorry, Pilgrim, but you're gonna have to do a man's job.